You ever notice how the world gets real quiet right before it falls apart? I used to think the darkness was where the monsters lived, but I realized it's just where the noise stops, so you can find me here. I wasn't in a church pew, I wasn't wearing my Sunday best. I was sitting on the edge of a bed in a room that smelled like regret. And I finally stopped talking over him. Yeah, we had a long overdue conversation.
The neon sign was flickering,
A halo made a red. I was counting up the ghosts that were living in my head. I tried to find the words, but they were buried in the mud, tangled in the wires, and the shadows in the blood. The clock on the wall was mocking every choice I made, while I was shivering in the corner of a debt that I had paid. I reached out through the static, I reached out through the cold, searching for a story that hadn't yet been told. The wind started howling like a choir of the lost, and I finally stopped counting what the freedom was gonna cost. I dropped the heavy armor, I dropped the hollow pride, and I opened up the doors I've been keeping locked inside. Oh, I spoke to God at midnight in a language made of tears. He didn't ask for promises, he didn't count the years. I told him I was broken, I told him I was through. And he said, son, I've been waiting right here in the dark for you. The sky didn't open and the lightning didn't fall, but I felt the head of silence answer to the call. I was sinner, I'm a wreck, but I'm finally in the light, 'cause I spoke to God at midnight. No, no, no.
spoke to God at midnight.
Yeah, he didn't look like a statue, he did sound like a king. He sounded like the peace that a little mercy can burn. We talked about the prison cells, we talked about the streets, we talked about the bitter and we talked about the sweets. I asked him for a miracle, he gave me one more day and showed me how to find the beauty in the gray. Oh, I spoke to God at midnight in a language made of tears.
He didn't ask for promises, he didn't count the years.
I told him I was broken, I told him I was through. And he said, son, I've been waiting right here in the dark for you. The sky didn't open and the lightning didn't fall, but I felt the edge of silence answer to the call. I'm a sinner, I'm a wreck, but I'm finally in the light, 'cause I spoke to God at midnight.
No more running,
No more lies,
just the truth.
underneath the midnight sky.
I can finally breathe, I can finally breathe.
Midnight,
The best conversation I ever had.
still here,
He's still here.
he's still there. I spoke to God at midnight. best conversation I ever had. I'm still here.
He's still there.
I spoke to God at midnight. I spoke to God at midnight.